Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Becca and I am doing my February wrap up today. I have 12 books to get through and not a lot of time to do it, and so I want to get it done as fast as I possibly can. The first book that I read was Graceling by Kristen Cashore, and I gave it a 5 out of 5 on Goodreads. I really enjoyed this book. It was a phenomenal book. And I highly recommend it. The second book that I read in February was Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets by J.K. Rowling. Don't have to say very much about this because everybody knows about Harry Potter. And I loved this book. This was a book that my daughter and I read together for her AR book for school. And it was an enjoyable time. I really enjoy being able to take part of doing that with my kiddo. So we had a lot of fun reading this. Gave it a 5 out of 5 on Goodreads. Next, I read Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. And this was my first time reading anything by this author. I really enjoyed it, actually. It was a really easy read. I read it in a day. I enjoyed it. It was just kind of like it was almost like a guilty pleasure read. It was just very enjoyable. I gave it a 5 out of 5 on Goodreads, and I had a really good reading month as far as my scoring went. So yeah. The next book I read was To All the Boys I've Loved Before, and it's by Jenny Han. This one, I believe I gave it a 4 out of 5, and it's just because I'm not a huge contemporary reader. It's not something I really enjoy reading, but I'm trying to at least read one contemporary a month. This was it. It was a cute story. I did listen to this one on an audiobook and got through it pretty quickly. And then I actually watched the Netflix adaptation, which they're a little bit different, but you know, they're always gonna be a little bit different between when you have an adaptation. But I still, you know, it was still a really good book to get through. The next one I read was Crown of Midnight, and it is by Sarah J. Maas. This is the second book in this series. I gave it a 5 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. It definitely submerges you into this world. The world building is very intricate, but it doesn't like give you a bunch of like, it doesn't only give you the world building. It's very much character driven, and you know, you really love these characters, and it's a very good book. Yeah, I enjoyed it. The next 3 books was a trilogy, which was Clockwork Angel, The Clockwork Prince, and Clockwork Princess, and they're all by Cassandra Clare. This is the Infernal Devices trilogy. It is set in the 1800s, and it's kind of like, she did start writing the Mortal Instruments first, but if you go as far as like the timeline of the characters, this would be like your first trilogy to read. She is coming out with a new book, Chain of Gold, and it follows the children of these characters in this trilogy, and I loved it. It gave me all of the feels. I bawled my eyes out. I was laughing my head off at certain parts. My heart was being ripped out of my chest. It definitely is my top 3 book series, and I'll try and do a separate video on just talking about this trilogy because it is phenomenal. I had to throw in my new book, my new release, as All Stars and Teeth by Adeline Grace. This was I believe it was a debut book for this author. I wasn't too sure if I was going to like it at first, but then it really sucked me in. I was very pleasantly surprised by how well I was immersed into this book and this world, and kind of just really enjoying the read. I can't remember if I gave it a 4 out of 5 or a 5 out of 5. I think it was a 4 out of 5, but it was really entertaining, and I thought she did a really, really good job with building this world and building the characters up and giving them their own individual voices as far as the magical elements that are in this book. Yeah, really enjoyed it. The last 3 books that I read was the first, hold on, let me get it. The last 3 books that I read this month were the first 3 books in the Mortal Instruments and by Cassandra Clare. And it was the City of Bones, City of Glass, and no, City of Ashes, sorry. And then City of Glass was the last book in this trilogy. Well, it's not really a trilogy. It's actually 6 books in this series. It started out being just a trilogy, and then she went back and wrote the Infernal Devices, and then she came back and finished the last 3 books in this series. And so I read these ones, and they were so good. I gave each book a 5 out of 5. Cassandra Clare, I love the Shadowhunter world. It's seriously like amazing. I can't get enough of Cassandra Clare's books. I guess you could say they're like a guilty read. I don't know, like the characters, they have their flaws. It's quite annoying. In the first 3 books, I don't know if I want to spoil it for you guys if you haven't read it yet, but there is an element in the first 3 books that was, I think, overdone. It was something that I felt could have been done in the first book, and or started in the first book and then finished in the second book. But yeah, it made it for an awkward read at sometimes. And so yeah, let me know if you've actually read these ones. Let me know if you kind of had the same opinion as me, as far as it just pushing it a little too long, and as far as that goes. I really enjoyed reading the Cassandra Clare books. I'm planning on continuing her books in March, and so yeah, I'll catch you up on that on my TBR video, which I plan on doing next. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I thoroughly enjoy making these videos. I enjoy talking about books and having people that enjoy books actually, you know, get with me and discuss them. In fact, last night I was trying to talk to my husband about the whole Shadowhunter world and how excited I am for the new Cassandra Clare book to come out. And he just kind of looked at me with like a blank stare because he's not a reader. So it's, you know, I come to my channel to, you know, gush over all my favorite books and all the books that I'm reading. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoy being here, and thank you so much for watching my videos, because that just, you know, it gives me my little outlet, and I really enjoy being a part of this community. And yeah, so if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon, just so that you'll be the first to be notified whenever I upload a video, which I try and upload. I'm trying to get on a schedule of uploading every Tuesday and Saturday. So that's my goal. So yeah, thanks for being here with me and enjoying all these delicious reads, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.